serving as eyes and ears of his parent country.
When I joined the service, the popular mandate then was that we had the manifest responsibility to give leadership to Africa, the whole of Africa.
Nigeria has certainly made a name for itself in Africa and in the world at large. But of course, it has not been, most certainly it has not been all smooth sailing.
The author accounts for his service years, the challenges along the line, and makes recommendations for robust foreign policies in defense of Nigeria's national interests.
Nigeria must continue to establish, both in principle and in practice, the approach that it is no longer enough to seek what the country can do for others, but what we can do together with others in the pursuit of our common interests.
The author borrowed the title from the second stanza of our national anthem, where we are committed to serve our country to the best of our abilities.
It is therefore incumbent on them to share these experiences for the benefit of the service itself, for the academia, the literary world, and the society at large.
The book to speakers here should serve as an encouragement to other retired diplomats to document their experiences as a guide to younger ambassadors and intellectual material. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
The North-East Development Commission's consultative trail on the proposed stabilization and development master plan project has reached Yobe State, where stakeholders applauded the agency for its inclusive approach in the task of rebuilding the region after years of Boko Haram insurgency. At the one-day engagement, inputs made by the stakeholders on various aspects were adequately captured by the Commission for inclusion in the roadmap. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Here are critical stakeholders from Yobe State, actively taking part in developing a 10-year master plan for implementation in the Northeast region by the Intervention Agency. During the engagement, stakeholders who made sterling contributions described the initiative by the Commission as a right step in the right direction, the search for workable solutions to the numerous challenges affecting the sub-region for prosperity and sustainable development.
Almost all the thematic area, we need them in the master plan, especially the issue of women inclusiveness in decision making.
My hope and expectation is that we will come to understanding so that we have a developed and a progressive state.
Focusing on 10 key areas including health, education, agriculture and infrastructure among others, the People's-Driven Roadmap, when adopted, is expected to be a game changer in setting the region on a sound footing for economic recovery.
Yobe being one of the second most affected state in terms of insurgency in the state, we have to contribute much in order to provide input for this very, very important master plan.
The master plan shall contain programs and schemes that promote and facilitate the physical and socio-economic development of the North-East zone.
Divided into 4 phases. We have the recovery phase, we have the renewal, you have the expansion, and finally the sustainable development phase.
The Commission has so far engaged critical stakeholders in 3 out of the 6 benefiting states of the region. In Damatru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
And in a continued effort to suppress smuggling activities, the Sector 4 unit of the National Border Drill Operations covering Northwest has intercepted a contraband with duty-paid value of about 700 million naira. Coordinator of the drill, Kamtura Gregory Itoto, who disclosed this to newsmen, said the interception was made between January and 14th March this year. Shehu Adamu reports.
Comptroller Gregory Itoto, who was making his first media engagement, said the contraband intercepted include 1,529 bags of foreign rice of 50 kilograms each, 134 bundles of textile materials, and 211 belts of second-hand clothes. Other smuggled items seized are 1,161 pieces of donkey skin, 4,725 liters of premium motor spirit, as well as 6 imported cars of different types.
In this regard, I would like to tell whoever wants to smuggle or engage in any form of illicit border trade, trans-border trade, to desist from it.
Comptroller Toto also disclosed that operatives of the drill refused 27% illegal entry into the country, facilitated the return of 85 illegal migrants back to Niger Republic, repatriated 16 persons to Niger Republic, and received 97 other migrants repatriated to Nigeria. He said 21 victims of human trafficking were rescued and brought to the headquarters of the Northwest Unit of the National Border Drill Operations in Katsina, who were subsequently handed over to GBA Special Command of the Nigeria Immigration Service. In Katsina, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
The Imo State government has condemned the raising of the home of President General Ohaneze Ndibo, Professor George Obiozo. A statement by Governor Hope Uzodinma attributes the attack to activities of those he refers to as political bandits. He described the attack as the height of desperation by some politicians who have refused to heed the appeals to embrace peace. Governor Uzodinma says the government is working with security agencies to identify and punish the perpetrators. The governor lamented the resort to incessant violence in settling political differences by some politicians in the state and warned that the government will no longer condone such banditry. While commiserating with Professor Obiozo, whom he described as a statesman committed to working for the good of the entire Igbo race, Governor Uzodinma assured indigents of Imo State that government will continue to do all within its power to protect lives and property in the state. Now, dredging of the Sakamori drainage in Okboko, Obaru Council area is one of the electioneering promises of the newly sworn-in governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, as he keeps faith with his promise by visiting the community and announced that dredging work starts in the next 2 weeks. The governor also banned the activities of touts and illegal collection of revenue in the state. Ndem Kalo has details.
Okboko community is one of the biggest urban slums in the state and largely considered a place less conducive for human habitation due to its filthy environment with huge dump sites. The scope of work includes immediate cleanup of the environment and urban renewal drive. Governor Soludo promised to commence road construction work in the areas within the next 2 months and also rehabilitate the Onitsha water scheme. He advised the inhabitants to be environment friendly. The governor announced that henceforth all taxes will be paid directly into the state account. He warned market union to desist from collecting money from prospective buyers. The governor was later hosted by Okboko community for matching action with his promise from Okboko in Obaru Council area. Ndem Kalo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates His Royal Highness Alhaji Bakol Ebiredelu Dogo Aguma Basa Benin on his 57th birthday, March 20, 2022, rejoicing with the royal father for service to his people and nation. President Buhari notes the worthy contributions of the traditional ruler, who is the Coordinator General Basa Traditional Rulers and Elites, to peace, development and prosperity of his domain, particularly the attention to civic responsibilities, education and entrepreneurship. As the Aguma Basa turns 57, the President salutes his dedication, commitment and resolve of pursuing the larger dream of a united and peaceful country by sharing his wise counsels with leaders and followers. President Buhari prays for the well-being of the Royal Father. You're watching Weekend File on the NTA Network Service. Time for break. Please stay with us.
Of Health, in conjunction with the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, heartily welcomes His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibajo, GCON, the Senate President, Distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawal, the Right Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, all members of the National Assembly, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, to the 2-day Primary Healthcare Summit held in Abuja, Nigeria, on the theme, Reimagining Primary healthcare in Nigeria. We also heartily welcome our implementation partners, private sector stewards, state governors, the Honorable Minister of Finance, the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and all stakeholders in the primary healthcare space. The date is Thursday, 24th and Friday, 25th March 2022. Venue, Abuja International Conference Center, Central Area, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. Dr. Osagi Ehanire, Honorable Minister of Health, announcer.
For further information, visit www.phcsummit2022.com.
There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
Now available in 30 grams and 450 grams.
Dear friend, how are you? I can smell the goodness of Easter around you. But wait a minute. Do you know you can enjoy Easter in luxurious comfort like never before? Because this Easter, Bedmates Furniture invites you to discover new levels of comfort with furniture that brings life to your home. Seriously, now is your last chance to have a memorable Easter and beyond. From 21st March to 20th April 2022, get furniture you love at unbelievable low prices with free gifts in our showrooms. Hurry now before others choose the finest units you want.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets. With Panadol's Optizol formula, the tablet absorbs quickly and starts providing fast and effective pain relief you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets.
My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. That's why I give him Bornvita for everyday vitality that gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Bornvita, strength to dream.
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Millions of Nigerians have received COVID-19 vaccine. I have taken my own. What about you? We have taken our own. What about you? I am strong and healthy. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? We are strong and healthy. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Go and get your jab. The hospitals, churches, and the mosques. Go and get your jab. Health centers, hurry up now. Don't be late. Go and get your jab. Bye-bye, Corona. Bye-bye, Corona. This message is brought to you by the National Primary Health Care Development Agency, NPHCDA.
If you've been called to host the game show, it's only right to know how it's played. In this game, only one thing is constant: fun. Win some and lose some. But you can make it a motivation to win the next challenge. You have to be fast and always be right. But nonetheless, you will have lots of fun. I'm Hero Daniels. See you on Nigeria, showing Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays only on African Magic Urban and Family.
Welcome back to Weekend File. Political analysts say intra-party conflict is a necessary evil within any political party in a democratic society. Saliu Banarayam, this report takes us through the historical perspective of intra-party conflicts in Nigeria's democratic journey.
Conflicts are part of human nature that sometimes occur in society, affecting the people without any kind of external factors in relationship with others. In politics, conflicts of interest arises when the private or group interests clash or coincide with other interests within the same political persuasion. Those who have witnessed it say political parties in Nigeria that have participated actively in the nation's democratic journey have been confronted with the phenomenon. Ayotunde Segun Ilesami is the chief driver at the Buhari House, APC National Secretariat. He participated actively during the election as a party agent for National Party of Nigeria, NPN. He shared his experience of what led to the end of the then civil rule in 1983.
They accused the politician of misappropriation of money. And if you see the way even mobile police are going about that time, they will harass and go on and do whatever they like. That is, I believe, because after the taking over, they started arresting all the politicians.
In Nigeria's 33 years of democratic governance, out of our 62 years of independence from 1960, the First Republic lasted for only 6 years with 7 political parties. The Second Republic lasted only 4 years with 6 political parties. The Third Republic suffered a stillbirth at the level of presidential election. Political analysts have identified lack of entrenched party ideology, mode of funding the political parties, selection of candidates, zoning arrangements, party executive arrogance, as well as party primaries as dominant reasons for intra-party conflict.
Political parties that mostly emerge were not ideologically based and principles political parties. Most of them are merely creation to serve as vehicle for winning and contesting elections.
Any problem relating to internal party affairs usually related to some members of the party abandoning this issue of ideology and personal interests now emerge to take over the issue of controlling the political parties.
The current Fourth Republic ushered in uninterrupted democratic government, and within this period, the number of political parties has risen to as high as 90 before it was brought down to the current 17. The governing All Progressives Congress and the main opposition People's Democratic Party are playing dominant roles. Like other political parties, they do have experienced and managed several intra-party conflicts. In Abuja, Saliu Gonara, NTA News.
And while conflict built around ideological differences within and among political parties is considered a positive sign of a virile democracy, promoting or achieving national interest must always remain the ultimate goal and concern of all. This is the admonition of stakeholders who are calling on political parties to draw lessons from old and recent history as the battle for the level of party structures intensifies in the build-up to 2023 elections. Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
Personality clash, power struggle, and differences in ideology are majorly responsible for intra-party conflicts. Nigeria's democracy, built around political party system as captured by sections 221 up to 229 of the Constitution, is not a stranger to wranglings within political parties. Going down the nation's memory lane, the First Republic was cut short after internal party wrangling between Chief Obafemi Awolowo and Samuel Akintola snowballed into a widespread violent crisis. Recent history also saw the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress (APC), barred from participating in the 2019 gubernatorial election in Zamfara State after it missed the deadline to conduct party primaries as stipulated by INEC.
We see millions of people, and there will be conflict among them. There will be infighting, and at the end of the day, they will confuse the electorate.
If the number of factions recorded during the October 2021 primaries of the 2 leading political parties in Lagos State is anything to go by, then there is the need for parties to rejig their dispute resolution mechanisms well ahead of the coming polls.
Any of the parties that does not follow the provisions of the electoral must be given the full sanctions.
The chief electoral umpire, INEC, is concerned and obviously working towards the integrity of the polls. Apart from announcing a timetable on election activities that must be complied with, the Commission is also playing an advisory role on how to manage divisive tendencies within political parties.
That's where we even have our legal department where they cannot resolve it, and they want, without even going to court, they want our alternative dispute resolution department. We can also assist.
As Nigerians gradually march towards the 2023 general elections, there is a growing consensus that a successful poll is attainable if key players, particularly politicians, can act in national rather than personal interest before, during, and after the polls. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
And joining us in the studio now is Saliu Mustafa Turaki Ilari, former Deputy National Chairman of Congress for Progressive Change, CPC. You're welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about party wrangling, political party wrangling as it is right now. And so it has always been in history, so to speak. People say without it, it wouldn't be as if anything is happening in politics. But going through it and ending well should be what everybody should be talking about. But let's hear your own views.
Well, basically, once there is injustice, there's bound to be dissenting or aggrieved voices that will also respond to that injustice. So for me, it's not about quarreling all day. The most important thing is if it is a very healthy and objective criticism within the house, it brings out the best end of the day. So I'm not one of those that believe in politics. There must always be problem or politics is all about scheming each other. No, we should be able to have a very healthy political system. We should be able to have a very healthy party system whereby all we should be thinking of is promoting our manifesto. Our dividends of democracy should be seen from our participation or our representation. So for me, I believe in objective criticism. And once you have that, then within the house or within the platform, you can always bring out the best. So yes, as human beings, we can't run away from, day-to-day disagreement. But the most important thing is, do we disagree to come out better, or do we disagree just to destroy certain things because it's not going our way? So that is where I differ. I'm not disagreeing with anybody because I'm not getting it, and then we destroy the larger project. No, if we're disagreeing based on principles and we're bringing out the best, so be it. And everybody will welcome that, because the most important thing is we have come out as a party with manifesto, with an ideology, and we have promised the electorate certain things. So we must be held accountable. So we should stop all this bickering, all these unnecessary, avoidable potholes.
Okay, each political party has constitutional provisions, guiding it. When they are, reflected in the day-to-day runnings or even in the scheming of things in the political process, shouldn't that be enough protection for all and sundry within the scheme?
You're absolutely right. But as human beings, sometimes once things don't go our way, we try to pull down the roof. Let me give you an example. When we were the leaders or running the then CPC, Congress for Progressive Change, we had a management meeting every week. We had to pick a day out of the 5 working days to subject ourselves as management of the party, from the chairman, may he so rest in peace, your former Minister of Information, Prince Tony Momo. I was then the Deputy National Chairman. We made sure issues were addressed on weekly basis. We never waited for issues to pile up or for issues to snowball out of our control. So we were proactive. We were always making sure, even before some of these issues come up, we already identify some of these areas and we make sure we put everything. Because you see, politics is all about giving people a sense of belonging. And when you don't do so, then there are bound to be some, disagreement left and right. Because people will feel left out, and some of them, they've put in their heart and soul in it. So it's about your management style. The constitution is there, but a lot of people will always circumvent what they know is already there. And you see, more importantly, we have failed to allow our parties to evolve as institutions of their own. If the parties stand as an institution, then no individual will have overriding power over the party. By then, the party can enforce discipline. There will be party supremacy, not supremacy for those in the party to become authoritarians. No, supremacy to be able to, draw the line where anybody goes wrong, you're able to tell him you've gone wrong here. And then the necessary party mechanism, the disciplinary mechanism can now be properly implied.
All right. We're discussing our internal political party wrangling and 2023 elections on Weekend File tonight. Do stay with us as we go on another break.
Son, calm down now. You said like a robber.
My uncle no go buy. Uncle, meet Andy. He has come to ask for my hand in marriage.
Good morning and good afternoon, sir. What about good night? Have you seen a movie? What nonsense. Son, you are in control. No, sir. It's my parents in the village. I'm doing a video call since they can't be here.
Glow Bracketed Plus is here. Existing Glow customers will get 400% bonus on every recharge and 100 MB data bonus on first recharge of the month. New Glow customers will get 1,000 Naira welcome bonus. To activate, buy a new Glow SIM today or dial *777# for existing Glow customers.
Not down low. GoTV price don't go down low for inside Max for Less promo. They go sama you with GoTV decoder, GoTenna, plus 1 month max subscription. Package will be 9,500 Naira before. They don't slash them to 6,500 Naira. See discount. Make yourself enjoy football for inside your house. Cross leg what Africa Magic come play Niger, telenovela, Nigerian Idol, and Bunga drama. Joseph is a big with Max for Less promo and enjoy correct entertainment for only 6,500 Naira. So make you hurry. Visit GoTV store today. This offer not be forever. GoTV. Love it.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
Have you ever imagined dying on the job?
Why would you think about that? You have nothing. You are disturbing a lot of very powerful quality. It's a fact, not a threat.
I cannot help you.
Guilty. Hang on, Natalie.
Thank you for staying with us on Weekend File. Although it has been a tradition when the national election approaches, there are used to be political alignments to suit the interest, as politics is always a struggle for power and its distribution. Political analysts and players in Kano are of the opinion that it is only justice and fair play that lead parties to success, not a do-or-die affair. Aminu Umar has more.
Kano politics, popularly called Siyasar Kano in the local parlance, is different from that played in other parts of the country. It is unique because of its liberal and radical content, which is rooted in the state's political history dated back to the founding fathers of Kano politics. It is characterized by factionalism, occasioned by the presence of players from different ideological groups, which often leads to breaking away and sometimes creation of different political parties, as in the case of Kano People's Party from Northern People's Congress, and also what played out during the Second Republic. The events of October 16, 2021, which produced two leaders in the ruling All Progressives Congress in Kano, political analyst says is not new. The leadership crisis in APC continues to linger despite efforts to reconcile the two factions, leading to a series of court injunctions, with the recent Court of Appeal ruling in favor of the governor's camp.
We know the court of law can never resolve political issues 100%. Therefore, it is our responsibility to invite our brothers and sisters to come together with us so that we build a much stronger political party in Kano State.
And like my governor has rightly said, at various times of discussions, he has come out to open up widely the doors and windows of our party in our state for not even the aggrieved members of our party, to even other members of the party who are of the political system who are not members of the APC at the moment.
Reconciliation, as political analysts noted, is key to solving internal party wrangling as 2023 election is fast approaching.
There are so many offices that each of the faction will get, but if you say you are putting it on only 100% in one faction, you know the other will not accept that kind of intervention.
What you want is put your house in order and put your manifest for people to see and understand and know where you are going.
The situation leaves the party at the national level with a burden of instituting lasting reconciliation, as all factions are too important to be ignored, as opined by political observers. In Kano, Amin Umar, NTA News.
Curbing the rather pervasive wranglings within political parties in Nigeria has definitely become a leading issue of discourse revolving around democratic stability and consolidation in the country. Though intra-party conflicts have trailed most political parties in Nigeria's democratic journey in the Fourth Republic, political actors themselves seem to understand that the situation is heightened by the rising number of those who push personal interest above and beyond national interest. Mena Okobasi tells us more.
Whether it is at the national or sub-national levels, the issues are often the same. The lack of internal democracy within political parties is a constitutional deficiency accumulated over time.
Lack of reward system kills political party. After buying form, most of the times you put the form at the higher range instead of conducting free and fair, primaries.
Though political parties are essentially the vehicle through which the collective will of the people are met, they are still conglomeration of persons with diverse interests and varying degree of commitments. Sometimes the differences in opinions and individuality rise to the level of animosity and fracas. Yet political players believe that certain measures can be deployed to checkmate rivalry and refocus the political class to always place national interests above self and personal interests.
The leaders of the party must don't talk of transparency, they talk of rectitude, probity, and good conscience in dealing with party affairs. Otherwise, the confidence of people in the party will begin to be eroded.
Party faithfuls advocate level playing ground for all stakeholders, while some say it has become increasingly necessary to make political office less financially attractive to encourage participation of only those with selfless commitment to nation building. The argument is that if parties play by the rule, electoral processes made less cumbersome, and INEC sustains transparency, candidates will still actualize their aspirations through any party and offer services that will benefit the nation in Enugu. Mena Adobe Kobasi, NTA News.
We still have Saliu Mustafa, former Deputy National Chairman of CPC, with us in the studio. Let's look at going forward. How does the current Electoral Act come into play here? Is it, would it have the capacity, to turn things around more positively?
Well, basically, before every election year, there's always a new electoral law or bill that will be signed in by the president to be able to manage and to oversee the election generally. Well, the current Electoral Act has been signed by Mr. President For me, the only challenge it is facing now is the section 84, subsection 12, where it discusses about the political appointees. For me, the most important thing is for us to test the interpretation of the laws so that we can, once and for all, put this behind us. If you leave this to we, the politicians or individuals, definitely everybody will say it the way it suits them. So I want to, since I'm not a lawyer, I would like to leave this for the Supreme Court to give its final interpretation on what ought to be done on that. So I think if we are able to achieve that, it will put this to rest, and then we'll move forward.
Now, building confidence, not just on the part of the politicians themselves, but on the part of the masses themselves who are closely watching some of these proceedings as far as the wranglings in political parties are concerned. How do we build their confidence in the political process when they are seeing some of these anomalies?
Well, basically, there's one ingredient that every political party must adhere to: reconciliation. There must be continuous reconciliation, because when you're dealing with human elements, managing the human element is a very difficult task. And politics or political party administration is about managing different interests, divergent views. Everybody might be looking straight at that ball, but the way every other person, or the way they perceive, or the perception, or their idea of getting to that ball might differ. So the most important thing, like I said, is trying to accommodate people, make sure there's internal democracy so that there will be no room for unnecessary bickering. And there must be continuous reconciliation. This is a very important and very veritable tool in party management or in a democratic system. So we can't do away with these two things. Try and be just and fair. Make sure you promote internal democracy. With that, you must always have your reconciliation as a continuous process in the party. With this, the masses or the followers, when they see a party that is proactive, smart in thinking, then that will also further repose confidence in them, because they watch us as their leaders or as their representative in the center here or anywhere. They want to see us give them the best, give them hope, because one of the things that keep human beings alive again is hope.
Hope, yeah.
And if you don't give them that hope, then you are indirectly telling them that anarchy is the only result.
So as 2023 elections looms, what are you advising?
Basically, my advice would be to the political parties, to my fellow politicians, is let's try and have the spirit of sportsmanship in whatever we're doing. We must always look at the bigger picture. It is not about coming to, coming to contest elections or for titles. No, it's about service to the people. By the time we're able to make it clear that this thing is not about coming to earn unnecessary titles or wealth from it, it's about service to the society or to the community and to the country at large. And that will now be able to guarantee, one, quality of life by the government. Two, it will also give that, sense of people being more patriotic to the system. These are some of the things that my advice will be for all of us to be more patriotic, looking at a bigger picture of how to make the country great. Like our President Muhammadu Buhari has always said, nobody will do this for us if we don't do it for ourselves.
Exactly.
And we have no any other country to run to if
except
not ours.
Nigeria.
For those of us who believe, let me make whatever money I want to make here, you are going to another man's country to spend it. So what you are going to look for there is fellow politicians or fellow leaders like us here that decided to give their country the best. So we must try to see how we can always think of the sincerity of purpose in whatever we're doing.
Thank you very much, Saliu Mustafa, for coming on Weekend File tonight. We're talking with the former Deputy National Chairman of CPC, Saliu Mustafa. It is time now for our last break on the program.
That in the last decade, this country has been at different wars trying to keep the peace and promote the sovereignty and the integrity of the country. The troops are doing their best. The president has given them all the necessary tools. It is left for us as young people and as Nigerians to give them all the support we can. We say kudos to all our gallant military men. Please, whenever you see a police officer in or out of uniform, if you know them, clap for them whenever they need. Give them seats in buses and trains and airplanes. Have the airline managers reduce air tickets or train tickets. Show them that we appreciate what they do and show their families that there is something right and honorable and truly remarkable about wearing a uniform and going into the bushes and the forest to fight enemies of this country that are hell-bent in bringing your life to an end. It's a very tough time, but we have to all put our hands together. Please support our troops and support our police officers.
The judges for Nigerian Idol Season 7 are ready. The stage is set, and now it's time for you to impress.
Nigerian Idol Season 7, showing every Sunday on Africa Magic Urban and Family. Proudly sponsored by Biggie Drinks, Nigeria's favorite, and Binance. Exchange the world.
Sports update is next.
The 26th edition of Nigerian University Games, NUGA, has commenced at the University of Lagos with some events decided. The opening ceremonies with march past by the athletes and officials. An Olympian who won the NUGA Games as student for the host university, UNILAG, Amid Adio, held the torch of unity during the procession that heralded the Games.
I've seen a lot of our youths make money just working to prepare for the NUGA Games. So I say, there's no other power to promote peace, to promote unity than the power of sports.
We want to make few of the talents that are among us here and expose them to the world.
That I will forever cherish for the rest of my life.
On athletics, the maiden edition of the International Schools Athletics Championship ended Friday evening at the Teslim Balogun Stadium. The week-long athletics championship, which featured about 800 students from schools in Nigeria and Ghana, saw Warri Commercial School emerging the overall best school.
We provided a platform for athletes to compete. We provided a platform in which schools can now look forward to an event so that they can start developing their sport and start having something that there's a reason, there's a goal. We intend to have this an annual event.
In the Nigerian Professional Football League, it was 8 goals thriller as Rangers beat Lobby Stars of Makurdi 5-3 in Enugu. Abia Warriors held 2-2 by visiting Katsina United, while MFM Football Club continued with their battle for survival as they picked another draw away at Heartland in Owerri. With sports update, Enel Adiku, NTA News.
The Department of State Services says it has uncovered plans by some elements to stoke violence in parts of the country, particularly the North Central. A statement by the Public Relations Officer of the DSX, Peter Afunanya, indicates that the aim is to cause ethno-religious crisis, ignite reprisals, and heat up the polity. Similarly, the service says it is also aware of a plot to use students, striking university lecturers, labor unions, disgruntled individuals and strategic groups, as well as exploit the global energy situation to carry out a mass protest like the EndSARS. This is despite ongoing efforts by government to address the issues. The DSS warns the ringleaders and their cohorts to desist from such acts that are capable of causing a breakdown of law and order, and shows that the service will, in conjunction with other security agencies, go after the sponsors of the scheme and ensure the law takes its course. The burial arrangement in honor of late Deaconess Margaret Olutomola Ayodele continues on Thursday, 24th March 2022, with service of songs at the family compound, Eluafon Quarters, Ayotoro Wede. Home service and line state is on Friday, 25th March at 9 a.m. at the family compound. Interment follows immediately at the Ayotoro Wede Christian Cemetery. Outing and Thanksgiving service will hold at the Apostolic Church, Oke Ayo, Eluafon, Ayotoro Wede, Kogi State. Next is weather forecast for Sunday.
Hello there once more. The dust over the country has abated. It's clear over the north, and we expect sunny spells throughout the forecast period. It should be hazy over the central states, but in better horizontal visibilities. We equally have prospects of a few clouds hanging here and there from Benue State through to Niger and the southernmost tip of Kebbi State. Down south, we expect increased cloud buildup with very slim prospects of morning rains to the southeastern coast. The prospects are better in the afternoon, where we have chances of thunderstorms to affect the southern states and the coastal areas, with more of these rains to be concentrated to the inland areas of the southwest. With clear skies, we expect increase in the temperatures across board and discomfort level. Thank you for watching.
Do be a star with the NTA. Stand against rape and rapists. That's Weekend File. Thanks indeed for watching. I am Kenen Ima Abonikem. Good night.